Okay, so it's time to render. Oh, wait. Yeah, time to render this room. I'm just gonna lower these just because I like my room a little bit more proper. Yeah, it's just my preference. You could have it open. It doesn't matter at all. I'll remove the ceiling. It's just all about that camera setup too. So also what I'll do is I'll take this, I'll do Control D, render cam 2. I'll click on, no wait, click on this, click on this. Oh yeah, it's the camera you're in. So and V2 is correct, but just put it will. So click on this because this is the camera you're in. Click on the lock, deselect it, and I'm in the Z-axis is left to right, X-axis is forward. So I'm gonna click on X, Y, Z. So this is my X, translate is my move, control, middle mouse button, click behind here. So I'm just like moving backwards. I'm just doing this just so I can have a little bit of a different view. Okay. And I'll select my camera again and I'll lock it. So this is the wheel cam, right? And I'll get out of here, perspective. All right, so I'll just give all of this to Arnold texture, right click, select everything, right click, assign new material, Arnold, yeah, standard surface. Will surface A, all right. All right, so now let's start adding some lights. So the first light I like to add is why is it doing that? Oh, I think you had some glass here. That's why. So I'll select this. I think it's this one. What else had the glass?
I had glass on the yeah, that very left one, that one, and then on the very right, the cabinet. Yeah.
Okay. So let me just press 4 to see a little better. This one, this, and this. And so I'll right click, assign existing material. Nice. Oh, we didn't enable the glass. Oh, you did. Okay. Cabinet glass. Cool. So do this. I don't know how the floor is looking texture wise. Well, I eliminated all those textures for this example. So first thing I like to do is, well, what? Let's just grab an area light. So I'll go to lights, go to area light, put one of these lights out, scale it up, and I'll make it rectangular-ish because our room is kind of like that. And I'll set this one up right here. Let's make this floor a little bigger. It might be a bit large, so let's make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, let's go like this, right? And I'll even maybe move it to the side a little bit. So I'll go over here to like I said, I can go over here and go to render, or I can go to my tab. Sometimes I just like to click on the button, bring it up. Okay, see what's going on. Oh, it looks like you got one light already. If I'll click on this, what I like to do is always turn up the intensity to something ridiculous. 25. Too much, of course. 15. 8. And then I'll just tap on this. I just move it across the timeline and kind of tap. All right. Now, my goal, what I usually do is I do this so I can see the effect of this light. Now, I just went into my camera and I can like drag it up and down a little bit. Remember, depending on your computer, this will make it hum because it's like using a lot of like resources for it. So I kind of like this. I'll maybe even scale it down a little bit because the scale of this light matters too. It affects the scene. So scale it down a little bit. But I like the effect that it has so far. I'll stop this right now. I'll take this light, Control D, and lighting is something that can take some time. It's a lot of like back and forth. So the way I'm doing it now, it's it might do the job, but if you want a really like nice result, you would spend a bit more time on it with the lighting. But I'm just showing you the basics. So now I just duplicated that light and put that one there, just so we see what it's doing, right? I'm gonna go right here, make this 0. So it's basically turning off that new light I made. I'll make a snapshot. So this is with that off, and then I'll put this back to 1, so it's back on now. And so I can snapshot this one too. So we can see 1 light, 2 lights. So you see the difference? Yeah, all right. Now this light right there, where's that light at? What is that light? And also, like right now, I'm like, man, where's the light? It might be in one of these groups somewhere. I don't know. So what I can do is I can go to show objects, and then I can go over here and go to lights. And now if I open this up, I can see, oh, okay, here's this light. Now this light right here, I guess you made a geometry light, which is cool, totally cool. What I'm gonna do is I can make this invisible if I want. So I can go to light visible, or I can go to light invisible. Oh, look, we're on this right here. So that's why I'm not seeing the updated render. But if I want to see it, I just click off of this. Now I'm seeing like the updated render. So look, light visible, light invisible. So I'm not sure what kind of light this is, but that's what's going on. But it looks good the way it is. It's 6667. So let me turn it down and just kind of gradually bring it in. See the effect. And also another thing we can do is we can go to Arnold, lights and utilities, and we'll go to something called light manager. Now this light manager right here, we say your screen's gonna get pretty busy, I guess. We could also scale this down if it matters. And sometimes it'll come in like this and you won't see that E. So you have to move this and you see the E. So the E is enable. This is the mesh light right here. And if you select these lights, it'll, select them here too. But if I like to disable sometimes and see what the effect of this light has all by itself. So it looks purplish. I'm not sure why. That's all right. But we can kind of like go in here and see what the effect will look like with each light individually. Because you don't want anything being blown out necessarily. All right, that's looking good so far. Disable that, we'll enable this one. And sometimes a nice subtle light is good too. This. So all these other lights are on, but why is this like this? I click on this. Oh, okay. So remember, you got to click on this to get that light. And we could also click on this right here, but I like this. I feel like I'm getting more control. So I like to just make it subtle. Sometimes you could even change the shape to like, let's say cylinder and see what the effect is. But also another thing to do is judge it by the reference, which I should have asked for. I'm just gonna put some lights in here to see how this looks. Okay, so kind of like this. It's not really getting too blown out. It's a subtle light. We can see what it's contributing. Turn this one off. Let's turn on this other one. Let me go in here. Oh yeah, let me select this. Go in here. Turn this down a little bit more. So kind of like this. It's subtle. Let's do 9:30. It's a good time. Okay. Turn this up. So see what it's doing. All right. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Stop. I might even take a little snapshot just because. So I'm in my perspective. I'll do a control D. Take this light. Wait. Why can't I see it? Control D. Okay. I might even go over here. Another one. Scale it down a little bit. Let's see this one. Push it over here. So this will fill in that right side because in our renders it looked like a lot of stuff was going on the left. So this should like balance it out a little bit. So you can turn it to the side. Your panels. No, let's go to render. So let's lighten that up a little bit. We can once again go to your utilities light manager. It's this one right here. We could also touch it here, which is the light 3. Light 3. We can see how it's contributing. We can also use this color temperature, which I like to use, which uses a Kelvin scale. And we turn it to this side, it's more of a warm light. And then we turn it to the right, it's more of a cool light. Like last time we were in person in my office. There are 2 offices. Somebody moved out, I think Dean out of the other office, and oh no, the chair. And he had a bigger office, had a refrigerator and everything, but I hated the light because the light was like this cool light. It was like this. No, wait, that's the exposure. It was like this. And I didn't like it. In my office, I had a warm light. And then one day, without my permission, somebody went in and changed the warm light to a cool light. Don't know why. But that was quite upsetting. So me personally, I like the warm light, but like I said, I don't have the reference, so I can't really see exactly what it's looking like. So I would like to mimic what it truly does look like in the reference. So
Do you want me to send you the picture?
yes, please.
Okay.
So I can see. So, and if you ended up making it really cool, we can, just I guess use whatever it is. You could also do warm and cool on both sides. So, okay, so this is the third one. Let's look at what it looks like all by itself. To me, it looks a little bit blown out. It's not crazy at all, but it's a little bit more than I like. So let's change the type just to see if we can get something a little bit different.
Professor,
Yes.
do you know what's going on with the faucet?
Oh, I'll fix that. It looks like something because of this right over here.
Yeah, when I tried doing it, I tried following the steps, and I don't know what I did wrong, but yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll fix it. I'll do it after this, so I'll get it. Yeah, I was looking at it like that looks crazy.
Yeah, thank you.
But at the same time, if we want to fix it real quick, let's go in and get these faces. I'll just do this real fast. Select this. No, select it. Get the faces. So it's got these faces. I do a shift greater than. Oh, shift greater than. Oh no. Why is it doing that? Let me just select this, delete it. Select this right here, delete it. Center the pivot. Move it over. Get edges, select these bottom edges, control click, control E. Like I said, I don't know exactly what it's supposed to look like. If you want it to be wider, bigger, I have no idea.
It was just normal, like just straight, or it doesn't matter. It's
It was straight
fine.
down. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. It looks a lot better. Okay. So let me go back into this Arnold tab, click on this. Um, yeah. So what I ended up doing is, like, as you can see, it's like staggering because it's like trying to calculate. But I just kind of move this thing around. I can also push it around a little bit. I kind of find a nice area for it. Maybe you move it close to the camera. Maybe scale it down a little bit. Move it up. You could also tilt it and rotate it and do a lot of other things. Because every way you move this, it's like it works like a real light. Like if you had a lamp or something and you moved it in your room, you'd see the light change. And also what I can do is Control D, move it over here. Make another one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this and I'll minimize this and I'll take this over here. I might do something like, let me do a J, hold it down. I might even like move it down here. Below our camera even. Scale. This might give it something. And I can even name it like, I don't know. Just to give it a oh man, tube. Okay. And then I can go into our utilities. Oh, where's that? Okay. Do another render. We can see this tube. Remember, I just named it. Going here and now take this down a little bit. Let me look at the reference real fast. Okay. So, and that right there can be controlled by the material. So if we were to, so if I click on it, it goes to, this material I made. We can give it like, let's say a little bit of roughness, or we can make it a little bit glossy. Uh, it doesn't look like there's a lot of shadows going on. And now that I'm looking at the reference, this does look a little bigger. So I'll click on it, press up to get the group, go into my camera. And let's scale this out. So it's a little bit thinner. All right, let's do another render. And it's all about moving these lights around. So this one, maybe it doesn't need to be there. Maybe it could be like a little bit over here. Because it's behind the table, we're not going to see it so much. So it might give us a little different effect. And we actually might want it to be a little bit more subtle. So utilities, light manager, tube light. So you maybe want it to be like, well, let's turn off this one. This one, you could do like 0.1. The two lights acting pretty bright. I never use intensity really. But let's see what happens if we take it down a little bit. It might just be too close to that. At the same time, it might be too small, too large, right? So in a situation like this, you might want to just make it even thinner. Let's see what this will look like. Nah, let's keep intensity at 1. Let's still do it. We'll just scale down our light. As you can see, like how big it is making the shadow change. Also, it could be a little bit too close. So it might just look a little bit better behind here out in the open. Or even up higher. So the placement definitely matters. Look at that. And now it's a whole different story. Right now it's 0.1, 0.1. I'm actually shocked at how bright it is. So we might want to take it, even if we put it back here, see what we're getting. Wow, that's pretty huge. Let me go back to quad, see what happens. So maybe cylinder wasn't the best choice for that. This quad might give us a better effect, even in the same area. I don't know if this stick so much matters, but it's all about like testing it one by one to see. Okay, so we see the little subtle effect it's giving us. 25. And I'm just like tapping on the timeline, going down. Okay, this looks a little interesting. We turn the rest on. Start to come a little more. Whatever this is right here, which I think is that mesh light, we probably need to take that down a bit. Just because I don't like the blowing out effect. Also, another thing we can do, because this right here is, I guess these have lights on it somewhere. I can't really tell by the reference, but we can even take this, Control D, move this up here, and actually fit this into this area. So make it small like this. Let's see what's in. I'll press F to just focus in. It's a little bit of rotation somewhere, so no, 90. Yeah. This is tube 1. I'll just make it say, I don't know. Then, and once again, go into the light manager and try to isolate it, and just to see the light manager. Oh, it's utility, some of it. Light manager. thin one. So disable everything. Okay, because it looks like it's bouncing off of that. Okay, that looks cool to me. And then we take that one, Control D, and we can move these on the other areas. J. Ooh, J. And place this over here. Just play this. Go to our thing. We get two of them lit up. Hmm. Yeah, this one might look a little strange, only because we really don't want to see the light. We want to like how this one's on the back of this and it's hitting this, which makes sense. But on this one, unless it's a visible light, we don't really want to see it. So I might just take this one, hold down J, and flip it, and then put this like over here. And that might make more sense for our scene because we're not really looking at that. Now when we hit our play, we can like crank it up if we needed to. Like I said, to match the reference. Speaking of that light, we put one on the ceiling. So all these lights built up when they're isolated have give us the effect that we want. So if I have this here now, ceiling, play. Wonder if one of these buttons is the utility. I never used it. This texture. Let's see if we can do this. Utilities, light manager, control click. Okay. And also if you hold down control and shift and left click, you can put something on the shelf and then you just go right here and you do save all shelves. And now this will bring up. So this is how you make like shortcut buttons, which I'll show you all a little bit later. So now let's just see how the ceiling contributes all by itself. You see it's lighting up. Let's do 25. 15. 8. Okay. Just give them a little something. Let's use some color temperature. Yeah, let's just turn them all on just to see what we're looking at. It's coming alive, starting to look good. Okay. Now what really tops it off is this. We're gonna get ourselves HDRI. So let me just show you that real fast. So HD, wait, HDRI Haven. Like to go over here, we can go to indoor, and we can kind of find something that looks like what we have. Sometimes I like to go to one with a little bit more shadows. So like I like this one. If it's got a bluish tint, we can kind of find one like the reference. So bathroom, cinema lobby. I like. Also, this one looks kind of good. Glass passage. I might just go ahead and grab me some glass passage. Boiler room looks nice. Just grab boiler room, right? Go over here. I like a 4K. So let's get one of these. It's in there. So let me get myself an area light. I mean, uh, um, dome light. Lights, sky dome light. We have it right here. Let me go right here to the color swatch, just like we're doing something. And let me find my downloads. 4K HDRI. See, look, the boiler room's in there. Now let's get inside of our camera. Oh, no, all you really need to do is get inside of this. It's going to convert that texture to something called .tx. Let's click on this right here. Of course, so this is our early tests, adding in lights, and this is with that. The reason we can see this background is because if we click on our sky dome, and right here, this is called visibility. So visibility of the camera is one means on. So if I turn this off to 0, it's gonna turn this off. So, oh, we still seeing this because we have to click on this. We can go into here and we can turn it down if we need to. But also, we should just look at what it looks like without it. And it's no shame in going in if this one doesn't work right, or not giving you what you want, and picking another HDRI. It's working to your advantage. But we see right here, this is where the light's hitting. So what we want to do is, we're looking at it. Well, here's our room. We'll click on our HDRI, click on E to rotate. And since the light's there, we can rotate this, and the the hot spot, the strong point of the light, will shift. It's just all about testing it out. We could also look right here just so we know it's 360. So 0 is 0. And then we could rotate it, of course, but you could also do like 90 just to see what it looks like. $180. 180 is looking kind of nice. 270. 300. Between 270 and 180. So let's do 220. And these numbers, they're just degrees. Remember, 0 to 360 is all you really have. But if we have this right here, and we can like tone it down with the exposure, maybe if we really want to, and then introduce other lights in. And we can maybe start getting some interesting looks. So we have the ceiling light turned on, some of our other lights. And in the end, all it is turning these on and going in and messing with the intensity and the placement. See, like this one might be too much, but it might be needed just maybe on a lower level. Also, we can use color temperature to warm it up or to cool it off. Like I said, lighting is an art all of its own. So whatever the mood is, you can set in the program. We can even turn up the intensity of this to brighten it up. Or we can get another HDRI, which has a little bit more blue in it. And that could also help us to achieve the goal of our rendering goal. And lastly, just to close it all off, if we want like ourselves a final render, I mean, I'll talk about the render settings next time, but we can click on this one right here, render the current frame. And this gives us like a wrong camera. So let me get in my camera right here. See how nice it looks. And click on this. Am I tripping? Hold on. Click on this. And this will give us more of a final render. And then there's a way we can turn up the render settings, because these are all tests, right? To give us a complete, like crispy, like final image. But look, the glass is very well, I mean, very nice. That's why you can see through it. And right now it's at a low resolution. But like I said, I'm gonna go in and do the render settings next time. But if we want this to be a proper resolution, we just go here, or high resolution. If we do HD 720, let's say. And these are like some other settings I'll run through. But once you have something you like, you can just go ahead and give yourself a nice render. And then you have like yourself a nice piece where you've UV, you put the textures on. Well, you modeled UV, put next textures on, and set up a good looking camera. And then it brings everything else to life. Like I said, all this noise right here, all these speckles, that's what we call noise, that can be cleaned up to make it crisp and nice, just like your reference.